Hello and welcome to this week's Comic Roast. I am your host, Scott. You can find me on Twitter at XHorseandX, and I'm here with Mike. You can find on Twitter at Review and Roast. You can find our Facebook at facebook.com/Review and Roast, and our Instagram at instagram.com/Review and Roast. We also have a Star Wars one for tabletop gaming, instagram.com/Star Wars Tabletop. You can see a lot of painted miniatures, not so well painted miniatures, and other Star Wars related gaming like Destiny and Rebellion.
Yep, there's some stuff to look at.
Yeah, all kinds of goodness on there. So if you're a Star Wars fan or just a tabletop fan, it's worth a check out. Today, we are still on the hunt for Wolverines, and today we are bringing you Mystery in Madripoor #1.
Circles the globe in search of a listener. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
This book is basically a team of female X-Men who are on the hunt for Wolverine. So if you remember last week when we were talking about Claws of a Killer and how they literally took, one sort of known character and two less known characters, didn't barely give their names, let alone an explanation of who they are. This book, on the initial team of, X-Men searching for him, you have Psylocke, you have Kitty Pryde, Jubilee, Storm, Rogue, and Domino. So you have 6 people right off the bat. And all it took was one page. Because,
and they're name dropping and a little blurb.
They have in the purple, they have the main story, and then each character has a little yellow box. Psylocke, Betsy Braddock, Psychic Warrior, and then they explain their powers. That's all it takes, man.
Just let me know what's going on here.
I mean, okay, some people are probably not going to know who Psylocke and Kitty Pryde are. Most people are going to know Storm and Rogue and probably Domino, especially if they've seen the new Deadpool.
Right.
But, just that little, hey, this is Jubilee. Her name is Jubilation Lee, and she has the ability to generate lumikinetic explosive blasts of light.
Nice.
Hey, thanks for the fucking info.
Yeah.
I can now move on and not go, man, what is this? Not saying that, you have to do that and everything, but...
Yeah, but it literally doesn't hurt. Gives you a quick, all right, here's what I'm dealing with.
Right. And I mean, if you were to look at the page, I mean, it's chock full of information, because not only does it have them all sitting on the little jet flying to Madripoor, spoilers, Mystery in Madripoor, but it also moves the story along with 8 other dialogue boxes of, this is what's going on. We all loved Logan, but that's why we're here, flying to here, and we're going to go meet with Magneto.
Spoilers.
Well, that's why they're going to Madripoor. They're going to Madripoor to meet with Magneto, because in the past he has tried to...
Well, basically, he's the dude that could do stuff with adamantium, which is what my man was encased in, so he's the natural logic choice.
He was thought to be encased in it, but we learned in the very first issue that he was actually, they moved his body and they buried it somewhere special, blah, blah, blah. Nobody knew except for the handful of people that moved him. But Magneto could sense it. He could, and he could remove without tripping the sensors, so he's, I don't want to say prime suspect, but he's right on top of that list of someone who could be capable of moving the body without tripping sensors and stuff. So you basically have, and Madripoor, not only is that where, Magneto is, but, Wolverine had spent a lot of time there in the past.
Right.
He lived there for a time. And isn't it where, the whole movie Wolverine is based out of? The movie I really didn't like with all the ninjas and stuff?
I don't know, honestly.
I don't either, but I just figured because of the whole, Asian culture thing. And
I don't remember, to be honest.
So anywho, they land at the airport, and they're immediately greeted by what's his face, Eric.
Yep.
And they're like, I don't know, we didn't sense him, but he's got his helmet on, so he's here. And he's like, we're not going to talk about this in the open. Meet me for dinner tonight.
Right.
I got nothing to hide. Well, how can we trust you? I won't even wear my helmet.
Right.
And so they all head out to the town, and they allude to the fact that basically when Wolverine was here in the past living his life, he made friends, he made enemies, but he made friends with some of the people here, and it was like, hey, FYI, I forget the code word, let's just, whatever. And they're like, hey, FYI, the Eagle has landed. And they're like, oh, you need to come. Here's his secret private residence. You guys can stay here. You're a friend of his. You're a friend of mine.
Right.
And then they learn more about Wolverine than they ever really knew, because he was always a very non-sentimental.
Yeah, they kind of give you a kind of a background flashback scenario.
Right.
On how he sort of interacted with a couple of the individuals. Isn't that right?
Yes. I believe Psylocke and him, they do a little flashback where she's like, dude, your room is 100% empty. Maybe it was Storm. It doesn't matter. So, and he's always been very just private and non-sentimental, and then they get to this room in Madripoor, and it's just like full of, I guess, memories is the best way to put it. So they're all a little taken aback, and they're like, man, I fucking really miss Wolverine. Yeah. And then they, fast forward to dinner, and I don't want to say hilarity ensues, because it's more of a...
Well, the action starts to pick up for sure.
Yes, the action starts to pick up, because, why is that? Oh, they introduce a bunch of female villains, and they each get called out by name. Oh, yeah, now I'm not going to be able to find them, you piece of shit.
Yeah, you suck.
I know, right? And they're like, oh my god, none of these people have been seen since the fall of Hydra, and they must have been hiding out here, blah, blah, blah. Who do we got? Okay, so we got Bloodlust. We've got Snake Whip, which is I've never heard of. Who's the main brain lady?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember.
I can't remember her name, and I'm not seeing it anywhere really quick. Plus, you get Sapphire Styx. And they don't exactly, explain.
Right, but in this case, they don't have to, because they're actually doing stuff.
Right, because they're whooping that ass. Because it's an ambush, basically, on the ladies who have head over. Do you want to?
Oh, no, I'm good. We're cruising.
Okay. So, yeah, it's basically an ambush. And,
you know what? Yeah, Gibby. Let me just reiterate myself on the look.
So, I mean, it's in my opinion, it's definitely one of the stronger books so far. I'm not going to go as far as to say I liked it better than Weapon Lost, because that one actually was so good. But this one is, maybe a little better. I don't know.
Well, Weapon Lost is more of, that's going to be I think we talked about it, the whodunit, all investigatory type. This one seems like it's going to be kind of an action thriller. You know what I mean? Where the other one's going to be more of a drama thriller. And then the other two, we don't really know what's going to happen yet.
Right, but I feel like the way they're doing this, and especially with all the introductions and the explanations, and it's just, like I said, it doesn't take that much to really help out nerds like me who don't know the B rolls around town. You know what I mean? So if you're going to start digging deep into the hero and villain catalog, some people might need a little help with that, and I appreciate that. Plus, it's pretty action-packed from the word get-go, because even when they're flying on their plane over to Madripoor, there's a lot of, just flashbacks of Psylocke and Wolverine just like sparring or, talking shit, just trying to give you a history of these people with Wolverine, which I really, really thought they did well. And, it's more colorful, so you can be happy. It's not as drab.
Mind Blast is the main chick's name.
Yes.
They actually use her name a few times.
I know. I was scrolling too fast.
Yep. No.
I know nothing about her. I know she looks awesome.
The only one I know is Viper, who is sort of the lead agent, because they actually... Of course, the only one I didn't know is the one they explained. She was a crime lord in Madripoor for years, but hasn't been seen since the fall of Hydra. So, but I do know I've spotted her somewhere, but the other ones are all news to me. But still, even better. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how many times do I need to see the fucking Joker?
Yeah, and like you said, they're all news. No, I don't know who any of them are, but I know what they can do. Yeah. And all it took was one sentence.
Yep.
This is Snake Whip, and she,
Yeah.
There's literally a picture of her with the whip,
Right.
grabbing
Crushing.
hold of somebody. You know,
Yeah.
I forget who they sent her after, but
Yeah, and the other broad's called Knockout, and she's literally knocking some bitch out.
oh, I forgot about her.
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's got like almost like a brick for a hand. It's kind
Yeah,
of
she's got like brick brass knuckles.
yeah.
Brick knuckles.
So yeah, most of them get away, some of them get captured, but there's clearly something going on in Madripoor. We have no idea what. We don't know if they know anything about what's going on with Wolverine. All we know is these X-Men showed up, and these villains were there waiting for them.
Yep.
That's all we know.
And like presumably knew they were even coming, which is interesting. So the whole thing is interesting. And to figure out, is Magneto actually part of the Dilly?
Yeah.
Like we don't even know.
Not a clue.
So yeah, what did we do for Weapon Lost?
8 and 8.25.
Me 8.25?
Yeah. I actually think I'm going to go higher on this
I think
one.
I am too, because I was thinking I'm right in the same. I was actually thinking I'm in an 8.5, but I'm like, man, I don't know if I like it better or if I like it even. I don't know.
As two standalone books, they're completely different, which I like, but
Right.
they're both done really well.
That's the cool thing, though, is that they're completely separately interesting for different reasons, which is cool.
right. If you watch any of the Netflix shows, you're familiar with the guys from Weapon Lost, and it's just a really well-written
Yeah.
detective story,
Right.
whereas Mystery and Madripoor gives you a bunch of people you probably don't know. They
Right.
explain very well who these people are.
And it's
they
going to be
give you-
more of an X-Men mission type where it's not quite detective work. It's more like go and figure it out work, which I know sounds similar, but it's not.
Yeah,
You know,
there's
so
way more ass whooping in this one.
Oh yeah. There's barely an action scene in Weapon Lost, and it was still pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I am going to go 8.5 for this book. And again, now in this one, nice and easily, I found it to be drawn in sort of a almost like an 80s style,
But modern.
but modern, correct.
I don't know.
And colored modernly, but also 80s style. So it's super weird. I can't really explain it, but you should pick it up because again, I'm reading a few current comics that, you know, like the new Domino. That one looks like it's drawn. That one's like Pixar compared to this. You know what I mean?
It looks like a lot of the
Much more realistic.
yeah.
You know, where this one is, and I don't want to say comic-y because it's not, but
Well, it's funny that you mentioned 80s modern because exactly is kind of what I was thinking, and it's hard to explain. But when you look at it, you'll know what we're talking about.
yeah, it's like if somebody redrew the 1980s Iron Man comics, they wouldn't look like that. They'd still be better quality.
It's like 80s
You know
and
what I mean?
HD.
Yeah, it really is. But again, colors, stuff happening, outfits. People are wearing contradicting outfits, which makes them stand out because then you can figure out who's effing who.
See, you know
when
what?
you're
You know what
doing
else
stuff.
makes it so well done is there is a ton of information in what is written in the comics, but there is a ton of information in the pictures themselves.
Right.
So there's literally not a square inch of this book that's not
No, there really
giving
isn't.
you something.
No, yeah, like almost in every literal panel, you're picking up what they're throwing down.
Yeah.
So
The more we talk about, the more I just want to raise my score, but I'll keep it with a 8.5 for now. But
right.
it really is top notch, and I'm super excited for the next 3.
yeah, no, and this, you know, the only thing I hate about Sapphire Styx is her name because she looks badass.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if you just cut the sticks and have
Yeah,
Sapphire,
just call her Sapphire. Yeah, I'm into it.
which they might do.
Easily.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that's what they're gonna get to.
I mean, no one calls the guy Thanos Jones. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
It's
Thanos Anderson. Yeah. So stay tuned. Pair 8.5s. We'll be getting into the number 2s coming here shortly. We'll figure out the format on whether or not we're gonna do them all individually or slightly grouped or what have you. But
well, ever since you got back from Vegas, you've been extra
Yeah.
busy at work, so we haven't had as much time
Yeah.
to do this.
we're
Plus,
back into it now.
We got some other stuff going on that we're not at liberty to talk about yet.
Spoilers.
So we've been a little busy, but we're just gonna probably keep doing these one at a time now that we're back on track. We've only skipped like 2 weeks, so
And even if we just release a little extra, whatevs.
yeah, if we could do like a Monday and then a Thursday instead of a Monday thing,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Either way, it'll work itself out, and you'll all be happy because we're happy. And you can find me on Twitter at XOrsonX, and you can find Mike at Review and Roast. And don't forget to hit up our Facebook at facebook.com/reviewandroast, and all of our podcasts at comicroast.com.
That's it.